One, I need to tweak that one so it at least says Warframe. Two, I need to make it faster. Three, I got Zane in my lap. Look at him. He's so cute. He's such a cute kitty, isn't he? He's such a cute kitty. Zoom out the camera a little bit so you guys can see him better. He's standing in my lap right now, so he's got like a decent amount of forward weight on my leg right now. And it actually is probably going to bruise it. Zoom out a little bit. Still not rendering him very well. Like, he lifts his head up a little bit. I could just bring the camera down. I'll see me a little bit less, but you'll see him a little bit more. Which I think he's probably more important. Hey, lay down. Lay down. You are free to lay down. Of course, he's going to do the curl up and lay down. So I have to figure out how I'm going to set my legs. All right. There we go. All right. There we go. Place one decoration in my orbiter. I wonder if it'll count. Oh, you guys can't see. Kind of helpful if y'all could. I wonder if it'll count me decorating this room as that. We'll find out. Because I found out you can decorate in here. Oh, it's his tail. What the fuck is touching my arm? Centurion Commando. Alright, I have to place this. Is that going to count it? No, I apparently will have to go to my goddamn. Alright, my water bottle's in the way, so I can't read chat. Or game chat. Alright, first things first, it's new day on here, and I want to go, oh, new day on here, damn it. Okay, there it goes. Well, now render me allowed in? Alright, fine. Alright. Because I wanted to do the dating sim side first. Go ahead and knock that out. So y'all are going to have to deal with that. I probably should have done that before stream just because this part's boring. Rift, are you round? Yeah. By the way, I am now the highest affinity with them. Well, you're spilling the tea, so. Gotta do all the emotional, sentimental stuff. See what Eleanor's got. It's best to be honest to the woman who can read your mind. Literally just got done Arthur telling me about him. Hey Gothic, how'd your recording session go? That's good. So the character is bisexual. Soonish being sometime this year, or month, week, day? Picking on you. So far, it's not existing because I haven't tried anything. I'm just going through the dating sim. Oh no, like I literally just started and I'm just doing the dating sim side of it because this is a new part. And I've been trying to date Salem. Also, hi Pepe. Hey Trickster. I already knew this part of the story because Arthur had already told me, and I just didn't want to. It doesn't let you go yet. Arthur told me this part. No, I'm going to. I'm just waiting for that to get ahead. Alright, now the rest of them I don't care as much. Belladonna, if I remember correctly, is the Titiana remake. I did see the scene where, like, the radioactive guy, phosphorus guy, whatever his name is, he's, like, flipping off the tank that's running into him and just goes through them. Yeah. Well, Gothic's an easy person to get along with, and you can describe me however you want. I'm not going to confess feelings because I already chose who I wanted to date. You can only date one of them, unfortunately. Hey, Julian. Sorry, I don't recognize you, so hi. Sorry about this part. I should have done this before stream. Just getting it out of the way. I like hugs. This is Mag. I imagine it's good. Like the first episode I saw, I really did like Headhunter. In fact, I did a stream on my Coffee Over Gaming channel purely because how much I enjoyed the first episode. But what's everybody been up to? What games have I been playing? I need to hear what's going on in y'all live. Y'all see me talking about my life all the time. What's going on in yours? I know Trickster's manga, a light novel, anime, movie, in no particular order. Remember, this conversation's in light of there is a timeline where she does go psychotic and kill everybody. The person we're talking about. Cyberpunk 2077 is still getting some interesting updates. Like, apparently they added you can now call Jackie's phone even after he's dead and leave voicemails, and they get really fucking emotional. It's over 9,000! Like, I really wish there was more content with Jackie, like, before he died. Because that's something that always irked me. Like, you like Jackie more after his death. Like, you actually start, like, wishing he was there because you find out how great of a person he was. But before his death, you're like, okay, cool, he's a bro, but whatever. My biggest problem with Cyberpunk 2077, and I've talked about this to Coolwalker quite a bit, is it doesn't feel like a cyberpunk game. Like the universe feels right, like lore-wise and everything, but your character doesn't feel like you're anti-establishment. Not really. Like you work with the cops half the time. I get 2 because I have Amazon Prime. Anyway, hang on. Yeah, that's another part. Like, I do hope because there's supposed to be a second Cyberpunk 2077 game that they're doing. Like, not officially called that, but that's effectively what it is. And I'm really hoping they add a co-op side to it because that's something that really disappointed me that there was no co-op with 77. Because I imagine doing heists with a bunch of buddies would have been a whole nother beast. It would have been so much fun. And that's something that does generally irk me. Like, they make a bullshit excuse why your character doesn't have crew going on crew missions or anything like that, and that no one wants to work with you because your one job you did with a crew, it went bad. Like, majorly bad. And, like, I get that part. Yay, ask to a date. We get to do a date.
Wait, are you serious? Oh my god. Okay, I am tripping on endorphins right now. Yes, yes, I will. Yes.
I'm curious what this is going to do. Oh, I guess it really doesn't do anything.
What do you think?
Doesn't really have anything I want. But...
We'll all be here when you come back. Don't be late.
There we go. I finally got to date her. That's what I've been working on this, like a lot of this. And there's like nothing else in the 2099 or 1999 DLC that I actually care about. I have all the gun skins. I could get all of this stuff if I wanted to. But that's about it. There's really nothing I really care about.
It's a riot man getting a scrub to scrub up. You know what I mean?
Arasaka is somewhat after you. They're not after you, but they're not after you specifically because remember they don't know who you are.
Show me.
They know somebody did, but because of like your implants, you actually don't appear on camera properly.
Always got time for it. Anything described as its own reward is probably not worth much, which is why all
I have all that stuff, so I don't care.
always.
But I still feel that's a flimsy excuse for them doing that. I really wish 2077 didn't have that bullshit of an excuse. My cat's just conked the fuck out of my lap right now. All right, so I did what I wanted to do here. I'll probably do some 2077 missions just to get my standing back up with them because I'm maxed out with them. But there is some other things I need to / want to do. Now, right now, I could go kill my my Lich. He's in space right now, but me and my friends promised we'd wait. Yeah, you told me about that.
None of the monstrosities you'll
All right, I
find
need some
out
guild
there
tokens then.
are as fearsome as the demons inside my mother's head.
Those will roll over here in a minute.
Farewell. Travel safe.
I need 10 total.
Languish in weary solitude until
I think so. Like, could you imagine doing more missions with, like, the people you date, as an example? Like, because, like, they only recently added that you can actually go on dates with them.
Husband, go on, dear.
That's for grandmother tokens, that's not what
As you wish.
Yeah, like, that's more of it. Like, yeah, you get you get them to, like, pseudo...
Of course. Scurry back quick. Skippity hop.
you get them to, I'll have to wait to, do that then. Because, like, effectively all they do is they add features. That's all they do. They don't, like, you can't call them in to, like, help you on a mission or something like that. But that's something that does irk me. There's almost, like, no point to, like, making these friends. Like, throughout the lore, there's almost no reason. Like Pan Am, she's there with you for one mission. Well, technically, several missions. But we're going to ignore that detail. And the other female character, is in several missions with you. But that's about it. Alright, I need to do 3 spy missions. Let's see if there's any spy relic cracking. No? Alright, then we're just going to relic crack. Let's do... Oh, let me go to public, because I like cracking in public. Oh, wait a minute. I need to crack Requiem. Yeah, I'll worry about that later. Okay. I'll crack this one, because I'm after building Wisp. Queued up almost immediately, that's nice. Yeah. And there's some cool missions with both of them. And and that's just something that does irk me, that... And then there's actually, like, this cop guy you can get to be friends with. And there's, like, I don't even know he shows up in the main story. You have to find him. I do appreciate they didn't make Pan Am bisexual, because like not every character needs to be bisexual, but at the same time, like, I always prefer dating Pan Am, and I always play female.
You need them to open a relic.
So it's not like BioWare where everybody's bisexual. Is no one hacking the alarm? I thought I saw someone go to the alarm, but I guess not. Alright. I'm gonna use a cipher, I'm gonna be lazy.
Life support has been cut off.
But yeah, like, it just feels like really lonely as, like, in the Cyberpunk game. Like, no one's on your side. Well, you have people who are, quote-unquote, on your side, who are going to help you when the time comes. But that's all they seem to be there for, is in that final moment. Up until then, they seem to be just that.
Look for personal life support modules dropped by fallen enemies. Defeat the corrupted and use their reactant to open a relic. Keep fighting. Look for more reactants.
Yeah, unfortunately... Kind of wish Zane wasn't in my lap right now, but... Oh yeah, no, like, they do a good job with him. I'm just not a fan of him. I'll fully acknowledge they did a good job with him. But mind you, I'm never interested in, like... Yeah. I do know, like, he has an interesting story. If you choose the ending that came out of the expansion... I have no idea what you're trying to say. That was her only partner that way. But yeah, I do know he has an interesting outcome. Like, I hate the ending that came out of the DLC. It was like prepped to be like, oh, this is the good ending. And like, everybody was ready for it to be the good ending that you finally got. Nope. Like, yeah, your character lives, but not really. Like, you physically are alive, but everything you built goes away.
I've delivered a life support capsule to the
Like, it actually does effectively go back to the question that you have with that one guy at the beginning. Is it better to go out in a blaze of glory or fade away? And the fade away is that choice if you use the DLC option.
We're under attack.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. She ends up becoming adventure partners with. She becomes adventure partners with. I forget her name. His second wife. She became adventure partners with his second wife, and that's pretty much like the extent of what Ornstein knows. And then his third wife, Iris, ends up marrying the guy whose ass he kicks. Oh, she was asexual, is what you're trying to say. Okay.
prepare for life support.
Yeah. Yeah, because in all other timelines that didn't have Rudy, the first son of Paul and his mom, stillborn. He was the first time that they'd had a son, and that's because of probably Hitagama. Actually, it wasn't because of Hitagama.
Well, it was quicker, man.
Additional life support has
It wasn't because of Hitagama. It was from a character who's showing up in the sequel series. But yeah, it's like the DLC ending is just like unnecessarily dark. Like everyone becomes like a dark version of themselves because your character was not there. They all become like horribly mangled, depressed people. In like just this unnecessary way. I need to find another. Oh, all right, like your lover assumes that you're either dead or you left them, and they go down a messed up route. They don't even want to talk to you. Jackie's mom just straight up hates you. Yeah, Jackie's mom just straight hates you. And Jackie's girlfriend, she like really messed up. Oh, in regards to Sylphie. Well, mind you, her personality would also have been drastically different because she would have grown up with a fuck ton more bullying because the people in her neighborhood or her town only stopped bullying her because she learned to defend herself and because of Rudy. So she would have also just been probably a bit of a different person.
To a successful start. Extraction is available if you need it.
Iris would probably be even more hot-headed than she actually is. Because she didn't have Rudy. Oh, I got the exact fucking piece I wanted. Oh, the fuck yes. Everybody's like, we're taking that. Let's see if I can get one of the other pieces I want. I'm gonna grab this because I'm running out of time. I don't even know if that's gonna give me what I want. It is not. Yeah, so there's just like a lot of things that would have been drastically different just because of Rudy existing. Now, mind you, in I think in all the other timelines, there wasn't the teleport incident. Because the teleport incident is a unique, specific thing. The teleport incident is interesting. Kind of like a weird paradox in its own way. Yeah, well, who doesn't like potato chips? Mind you, in her defense, like, it's a connection with home. Like, when you see a lot of, like, Japanese animes where they're isekai, the first, like, time they feel at home is usually, like, when they find rice. And I get that. Yeah, probably a good idea. Because remember, Badagi is the fighting god. He's one of the powers. He is the fighting god. Probably one of the few beings who can stand on the same level as who can make Ornstead fight serious. The only other person who I would imagine could do it. Oh.
The relic has been cracked open. Finish your mission to find out what's inside.
Mind you, I think Rudy from his war timeline, he didn't have a choice. He really didn't have a choice. Like, he didn't choose to side with him. In fact, he does everything he can outside of that one instance to try and stop Hitagame until Hitagame called in the one favor he was owed. So it's entirely possible in later instances when he shows back up, because he's not dead, Geese was a follower of Hitagame. And I know Luke is manipulated by Hitagame. I do know that. So, the anime I'm listening to, or sorry, the light novel I'm listening to. No, it's valid. Because, like, Badagi, or how the fuck you say his name, is legitimately a really cool guy. Like, I imagine he'd be a great bro to have. The problem is that, he legitimately, he doesn't have a choice in having to help the human god, the fake human god. Yeah, he's sealed, but he's not dead. He can easily come back out. In fact, his wife might wake him up at some point when she's old, when she's physically old enough to be with him. Because remember, there is an 80-year time gap between the main series and the sequel series, so it's entirely possible. It's entirely possible that he's either already out, or part of the story is him getting unsealed. And the only question is, does he hold a grudge against Rudy and his descendants at that point? I do like the idea of Orsted responding to him being unsealed and Badagi coming after Rudy's oldest daughter,
They could not
and it's like Orsted's like, no, you don't. Because if I remember correctly, he really likes his oldest daughter. Go with the Magnus. Paul does get a lot of hate. And in my opinion, justified. I really don't like Paul. I already have that. Fuck. Go with this. I don't like Paul. Like, he does redeem himself a bit near the end of his life, but I don't like him. Mind you, I also imagine, like, Rudy could be, like, he would be, like, over 100 years old at that point if he's somehow still alive in the sequel series, would still kick the shit out of him. Because by that point, not only has he got another 80 years of experience in magic practice, but by that point, he's probably like, I'm done holding back. I don't forgive Paul for his response to running into Rudy in the Demon Continent. I don't forgive him for that. I don't care about him having mistresses and shit like that. I don't give a flying fuck about that. I don't care. But the fact that when Paul finally sees his son, it's not, oh my god, it's my son, I love him. It's, why weren't you looking for your mom?
Well done, Tenno. Your relic is opened.
Like, yeah, he recognizes his son's amazing, but Paul knows how dangerous the Demon Continent is.
Something out there wants to kill us.
No, Hitagami lies. Although I imagine it's not that there's no afterlife, it's that there's reincarnation. Actually, no, there's proof that he was lying. The whole spiel of the, I forget what their mom turned into, the Miyako children. Like, I think their whole connection is to, like, some weird afterlife stuff. That's where they get their powers.
Time is done. Good deal of aggression heading our way.
But no, like, that's one of the reasons I just don't like Paul. I don't care about him sleeping with the maid. Yeah. They did make a doll of Nanahoshi, which is anatomically correct, apparently. That's another conversation.
Bother us no.
I don't care that he, like, slept around with the maid. They were both guilty of that. That's whatever. That's between him and his wife. I don't care. I do think he acted very immature when he basically beat the shit out of Rudy in a practice match because of that incident and how Rudy handled it. I don't like that. But whatever. He was never described as, like, a mature adult, so whatever. I forget, like, I don't care about his experiences with, like, how he pretty much slept with every woman he could before he married, and even then he still did. I don't care about that. It's just more of, like, how he treated Rudy. Like, he was rather abusive at times, like, unnecessarily. Like, yeah. I really like to see more of Ghislaine. Because not only is she, you know, giant muscle cat mommy with big boobs, but also she just seems like a really interesting character. Like she was the dumb barbarian character who was not okay with that. Who didn't accept staying being the dumb barbarian.
So we'll pick a target and get creative.
Julie is a Cinnabon? Yeah. Since when would that stop? When would that stop Rudy? But also the director or the writer did say that none of the original characters will be showing up in the sequel series. Nanahoshi will probably return because I remember she's like in in cryostasis, for lack of a better description. She wakes up like once a month to eat and then goes back into stasis.
We will all share in this bounty. Hold out as long as you can.
No free space.
Yeah. Yeah, because that was her boyfriend that the original protagonist saved, along with her. At the beginning, when he died from he saved Nanahoshi and he saved her boyfriend. Her boyfriend got pulled into the future 80 years, and he's also the reason. He's also the reason that they got pulled to begin with because of weird paradox stuff. What I know, here's what I do know. What I've read into, because I haven't read the actual series. I just know is that one of the Mirko children, which is what their mom turned into, which are just basically people with like weird powers, has the ability to like rewind time in like limited pockets, so that so battles can be refought, and they also automatically rewind in relation to herself when she dies.
Excellent work, Tenno.
She burns out her powers, basically trying to create a timeline so that the protagonist of the sequel series lives. And that's what summoned Rudy, and that's also what summoned Nanahoshi and the protagonist, which she was doing it to save the protagonist. So, c'est la vie. And it's not like Nanahoshi wouldn't have lived normally anyway until her boyfriend would have shown up. Because she doesn't age anymore. Like, she's even commented on that. She just doesn't want to, like, take the long way around. Alright, let's see. What am I missing for Hildy? I think I pulled one of the pieces I was missing. But I should be down to just one more. I apparently don't have her. What did I pull then? Oh, it was a wisp piece. That's right. Yeah, I got the neuroptics and chassis. It is really hot in the apartment right now, and I'm not happy. Alright. Zane, I'm going to kick you off my lap. My legs are going numb, and it's starting to get bad. I know, you are conked the fuck out, but you gotta get up. Yeah, she has no intention, but she's not gonna have a choice. The reason her teleportation spells keep failing is because of that Mirko, that one girl. Yeah, because basically she's dimension locked, for lack of a better description. The person who summoned them basically dimension locked her so she can't leave. I'm just going into standing, that's why it looks weird. I think this is still set for standing. Nope. Is this one? Nope. Well, I think that one is. Moved it a couple times. He just took my chair in case anyone needed to know that. Alright. I really want to go kill my lich, but I can't. Because I got to do that with my friends. This would probably be a good one right here to go do the survival against the murmur, because that's I can pop anything I want. But I did decide I was going to do Requiem cracking, so let's do some Requiem cracking. I needed. Who did I need? Oh, my foot's asleep. Okay, so I can do that, but it won't let me change that. Okay. Yeah, cat's doing cat stuff. Yeah, like I stood up, I'm standing, he took my chair behind me, he's gonna go to sleep in it. That's fine. Okay, I need Zakta. That's what I need. Glad I'm getting it when I am. One is Zakta. Because I have a lot of these, I just haven't been doing them. If you're wondering, I've got 3 drinks. I've got water, I've got a little bit of soda, and I got coffee. I just cycle through them.
A friendly colony has been under a long-distance artillery barrage for several days. I've traced the attack back to an experimental cannon on the Queen's fortress. Break in and silence the gun.
By all means.
Pick up that multicoil. You'll use it to breach the gates.
Oh, did none of us pick it up?
Right now, the Navarre cannon is just a menace. But once the Grenier switch to tectonic munitions, it will become capable of obliterating colonies in a single shot. There are void fissures in the area. Use these to crack open a relic. You found a fissure. Look out for reactant. Corrupted foes are dropping reactant. Use it to crack open a relic. You are going to need more reactant if you want to open that relic.
One of the animes I was really enjoying until the last 3 episodes was reincarnated as the villainous that will go down in history. I was really enjoying it. I really liked it.
Defend it from attack.
The problem is, but then the final 3 episodes ruined it. Oh, here's this they were 100 points ahead in the score of playing basketball, and then they're like, yeah, no, halftime, don't care. We're gonna throw the match, and that actually it pseudo traumatized me to the genre. It has pseudo traumatized me to it, and I can't even fully explain why. But basically, one of the LNs I'm reading right now follows a lot of the same tropes, so to speak. It's the difference is she was resurrected in her own life, so she was 10 years. She goes back in 10 years in time, and is given a chance to basically undo, because in the story she was just a spoiled brat who was didn't pay attention to things around her, and basically then gets framed for being more evil than she actually was, until she gets exiled from her own family, sent to a nunnery, that ends up in a brothel instead. I've yet to watch it. Anyway, so right now in this timeline, the prince actually really likes her. He actually legitimately really likes her, because he finds her interesting just because she doesn't think like every other guy or every other woman he's ever dealt with. So obviously finds her interesting.
Someone wants a word with us.
And I haven't finished the first book in the series, or first volume, and I'm getting PTSD moments of they're going to do exactly what the other one did, where they're like, oh hey, here's this story that's going along, and basically going to end it with a fuck you moment. So I know there's a second volume, but there's still a lot of time between when she got exiled and when not.
The command center controls the Navar cannon's telemetry systems. Use it to take out that galleon.
Some truly putrid minds are heading this way.
This is the command center. You'll need to locate all 3 of the telemetry keys. That's the first key. Insert that telemetry key into the console. Good. 1 more to go.
Time is done.
That's it. We have triangulation. Protect the console while I reprogram.
It's an isekai. Oh, technically it's an isekai because it's just her, but it's her reincarnating back into her own timeline. So it's not like, well, no, then it's not an isekai because it's her own timeline. She's not in another world, just at a different point in her where she died. But what I enjoy about it is it does have a lot of the like the noble political intrigue that I've been wanting to see in an anime. That's one of the reasons I've watched Spirit Chronicles a couple times, is because I enjoy the political intrigue that's in it. That's one of the reasons I enjoyed where the conflict is more of a social dynamic than it is a I can beat you up in a fight dynamic. It's something I've been enjoying. Well, to be honest, that whole anime doesn't have a lot of original ideas to me. Like, nothing against it. Or the manga, whatever you want to call it. Doesn't have a lot of original ideas to it because it is built around the Power Fantasy trip. Power Fantasy trip has a harem. Like, it hits all the same notes. Yeah, we just destroyed one of their ships. So, like, it having, like, the same, like, oh, we're trying to resurrect our deity over again. It's not that big of a deal. Not to me, at least. But that's more of my pessimism because I wasn't expecting anything else.
Let's not look too close.
The targeting mechanism is out of commission. The cannon is useless now. The Grineer will think long and hard before trying to use this weapon again.
Oh yeah, and then like even the villain is like in love with the main character. So like the Dark Goddess, I should say, was in love with him. She everything she did was to create a world for him to be able to fight in, and it's like that is just a power fantasy trip to me, where even the bad guy, quote unquote, is in love with you. That just, yeah. It's a manga. It's Japan. It's clearly Japanese, and technically it's a light novel anyway. I'll get the Kuva. Yeah, and that kind of proves my point. It really just does feel like a.
Mission complete.
It really does. It hits so many of the tropes. One of the reasons, like at first, I really liked Solo Level. I really liked SAO. But then it just dawned on me, this is just a power fantasy trip. That's all it is. Character has unique ability that sets them apart from everybody else. They didn't really, like, and they get to defy all the logic and stuff of that world. And it makes me not like it. And it's not played in a good way, in my opinion, because there is, one second.
Sometimes the end never seems further than when you're
because it's not
halfway
played
there.
in the humorous way that like
I'm
Bofuri
telling
does.
you all that you got this thing beat.
I don't want to get hurt, so I'll raise my defense.
It's time for
Where
you
it's
to say
meant to be part of the joke. No, like that one is purely this character is OP. Okay. Yeah, I do want to watch it, especially now that the second season is finished. I do want to watch it. I just haven't gotten around to it. This is my first time actually doing a standing pose at my desk while streaming, so. At least I haven't done it in a while. You're right, but it actually feels like, the reason why I say it's not a true power fantasy trip, why I give it the exception to this, is it does feel like he does struggle. SAO as an example is like his closest to struggling, like we'll say the end of the first season. We'll give it that one where he's like, it requires like the intervention of the equivalent of God in that universe to go, oh, here's that code to rewrite reality so you win. Because at the end of the midway part, he just defies reality by sheer will. Like, he should be deleted, and he's like, no, by sheer force of will, I'm holding myself together. Bullshit. So, shit like that. That's the part that bothers me. Like, with Berserk, though, he's legitimately trained himself his whole life to be a certain way. And yeah, he overcomes everything. He does suffer losses, though. And not only does he suffer losses, he does feel like he struggles. Like, one good example is the first time... Oh, God damn it. One of the times he was losing is when he gets the Berserk armor for the first time. As just an easy example. Move my microphone up to me. So, but you guys can take that with how you feel. Like, Berserk arguably is a power fantasy trip. It really is. I'm not gonna take away from that. But that's where I split the hair. I believe you. Hell, the first season shows you how much of a masochist he is. Like, he's stalking her, and she goes, "You're my slave." And he's like, "I'm your slave now." And he's all happy about it. Loses a lot of weight because of it. All right. I don't want to do those mobile defenses. And there's no spy for me to do, otherwise I would be doing it. Is there anything in the... meso area for one of the ones I want? I already have the neuroptics. I would need... Let me go ahead and bring that one to max. Cool. Five. Alright, so that's the only one I've got that I can... Oh, why did I do that? But yeah, no, like... I did like the first season. And I kind of got, like, her not wanting to be tall. Like, standing out, like, literally standing out like that is a big deal in... well, just a big deal in general, especially if it's something that you feel like you've been made fun of your whole life, even if no one actually ever cared. No, you're right. You're right. No, you're right on all those. Like, Bleach is the worst of them, because not only is it a power fantasy trip, it's like the epitome of the chosen one.
They have just shut down all systems. I'm sending life support capsules your way.
He masters his Bankai in like 3 days, and normal Soul Reapers take hundreds of years. Like, if that's not a power fantasy trip, I don't know what is.
Look for personal life support modules dropped by fallen enemies. Use that reactant to open a relic. The reactant is working on your relic.
Baki 100% is. Like, it's not even plays at not being one. Dragon Ball Z, you could put that one in a 50-50 shot, but yeah, I'll give it a power fantasy trip setting just because of the whole gimmick behind it is... raw power! I'm more powerful! Like, the plot really feels like the excuse for the fighting. Marvel Avengers, you can go either way with that. Naruto actually at least has a story to it. Like, it's trying to, like, tell a story. It's not all about the fighting. So I'll give it that. In the Marvel's Avengers, you can go either way. Like, it really comes down to which story we're talking about here. Oh my god, my face itches. Oh, I don't know why my face suddenly itched like that. Yeah. That's fair. So what usually for the issue for me is like with solo leveling, it's not the suspension of disbelief. It does get really irritating to me when you have these super OP characters and they come up with the most asinine reasons why they're like, I can't reveal how powerful I am to anyone, and it just gets so tedious to me. Like that's a big deal. And then SAO, it just you've heard me bitch. Stalker's got a stalk. That's my answer. Not a good answer, but it's an answer.
Enough reactants to open your relic. Life support incoming.
Like with solo leveling, him getting powered up, his big concern is, well, this will change the way everybody sees things, blah, 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 I don't care. Like, it becomes more of an obstacle of him hiding it than actually doing it. I prefer it being funny like Bugs Bunny, where they, like, Bofuri is an example. That's where it's funny, where they intentionally go out of their way. Ass pulls, like Jujutsu Kaisen, which, once again, I fucking hate talking about that anime, because, like, it, like, 3/4 of the way through, fucking phenomenal. And then it just becomes Sukuna making shit up that breaks all the rules constantly. That's what it became near the end. At least with, like, My Hero Academia, which originally had a disappointing ending for me, they at least gave the second epilogue that made it feel better. Because my problem with the original ending is they didn't address him and Uraka's relationship. I don't care about him losing his powers. Like, I didn't care about that. And Yujiro, like, ripping people's faces off, like, yeah. Straight, like, falling, like, pretty much everything about that anime is just straight, like, the stuff you wish you could do IRL. That's what it's meant to be. Which one are we talking about with that one? Jujutsu Kaisen or My Hero Academia? At least with the second epilogue of Jujutsu Kaisen, we see that Yuji does end up with that one girl. Which was good. I like that. My Hero Academia, yeah. Yeah, with my, like, at least with My Hero Academia, they did address him and Uchaka with the second epilogue, which makes me happy. That legitimately made me happy. Later, Trickster. And actually, I'm going to disagree with you. I'm going to disagree with you that it's different than the Cyberpunk one. Because remember, he gets a power suit. He gets, effectively, his powers back in a power suit that Bakugo and all the others, like, funded to make. And it's like a much more powerful version of the one that you see All Might use at one point. Actually, I need the main blueprint. The Protea. Actually, I think I own Protea. No, I don't. I don't own Protea. Which is funny. They're taking mine, and I'm taking somebody else's. So, like, I disagree. And that's part of the reason why I probably don't care. Also, like, one of the other issues people were having, like, oh, he just becomes a teacher. Like, in Japanese culture, becoming a teacher is a big deal. One, he's a teacher at one of the top schools in the country. Two, teachers get treated and paid so much better. You're right. Well, yes and no. I'm going to disagree with that one. I'll explain that in a second. In Japanese culture, teachers are treated so much better and paid so much better, and he's at one of the top schools. He's all right. Like, he's not like a teacher here in America where they're treated like garbage and like don't get paid for anything. Anyway, the reason why I'm saying, not like you're right, but you're wrong about Blackhand Morgan is because Blackhand Morgan was back in Cyberpunk 2022, I think it is. I think that's the original set of numbers, which is a long time ago. By 77, you have to have cybernetics to have even a chance of being a reasonable edge runner or whatever the mercenary technical name is. Let me go to where they are, because I'm guessing someone threw down a waypoint, so I'm curious as to why. They have a lot of the things I need over here. Or something important. Oh, okay, yeah, there was all of them here. Also a lot of loot in general. I wish there was plastids here, but there's not. Okay, my relic cracked. There we go.
The relic has been cracked open. Finish your mission to find out what's inside.
No, Blackhand Morgan is legit. I know his story. Blackhand Morgan is legit. I wish they would have done more with him, like, talked a little bit more about him in the 2077 game, but obviously I think he's dead. There's no reason he'd be alive. Hell, technically even Johnny Silverhand, which is the character from the original series they decided to run with, is alive. Is not even actually alive. He's just a memory. I am looking forward to Witcher 4, by the way. Talking about all CD Projekt Red stuff. I am looking forward to Witcher 4. I am probably going to play that on stream. I'll probably get it on launch. Even though there's a chance it'll probably be buggy as hell, fucking getting it on launch. Also be doing Night Rain on launch. And Monster Hunter Wilds on launch. I might stop streaming on Fridays and move it to somewhere in the weekend, like a Saturday or something. And the reason why is I'm thinking I might start going into town on Fridays and try to socialize. I might try and run it at least once a month. run a D&D game out in the local one of the local card shops because there's a couple choices for it. There's one out here called Guardian Games.
What our Tenno operative just found. They could not do
Let's see if I get what I wanted. If not, I might just crack a couple more. Just if they crack more. Fuck, not what I wanted. Let's see if they go to crack anything else. If they do, then I'll just pop anything. At least something that's got formas on it, at least. Welcome back, Gothic. So I think I finally got my webcomic format storytelling style I want to do down, and I'm kind of happy about that. Because I'm thinking if I can really master this doing the comics in first person, I really will have something special about it, especially about my work. Beyond, I think I'm a good storyteller. Because I know I won't be a good artist. I'll end up probably having to hire somebody to come behind me and redo the work. But at least I can storyboard decently.
Well done, Tenno. Your relic is opened. Sure. I'm game.
Right now, the project I'm working on, I have the first page roughly laid out. Now it's just me adding words to it to explain what the character's thinking, because everything is told from his perspective, because it's all from first person. So that allows me to make him an unreliable narrator at times, because there are things he just wouldn't know, but it also allows me to add his perspective to things. Like, what is he what is he thinking? What is he analyzing when he's looking at something? Like, one of the scenes in my head is he runs into the crown prince for the kingdom he's currently in. And one of the things he does is he's looking at him, and his first instinct is he's looking at every all the weaknesses or ways he can attack this person to defend himself, because he comes from a time of war, in a time that's nothing but peace right now. So he still has the later Pepe. So he has the instinct to keep to look for ways to defend himself appropriately. That's just his instinct. And he can't help it. It's just instinct. So So like when he's looking at them, he this is just him meeting them for the first time. He looks at, they haven't done anything hostile yet, but they will. He looks at him and is basically analyzing him as, I'll be glad to help you. Probably actually right after stream, which I won't be streaming much longer anyway. He looks at him and he goes, he's like weak jawline, possibly glass jaw. Sword looks appears to be more ornate than practical. No magic coming from it. You know, like he's like analyzing all these details. And doing it that way also gives you like a glimpse into his personality and his way of thinking, which I feel makes you a lot more connected to the character. So even if he's not talking to somebody else and expressing his thoughts that way, you're able to read into him a bit more. Marty's having a hard time choosing. I am going to choose nothing. Yeah, pretty much after I leave this mission, I'll just go ahead and call the stream. It was just an impromptu thing anyway, because I was going to be farming anyway. So I figured I'd just go ahead and stream. I might start streaming on Saturdays instead of Friday. That way I can use Fridays to go out and do a thing. Go out, socialize, maybe run a D&D game at Guardian Games. I'll burn that bridge. I'll think about it. First, I'll probably jump into their Discord, which I'm already in their Discord anyway, and see if there's anybody who's interested. I'll need to see about getting a bunch of character sheets printed out, if nothing else. I also should probably check to see if my my little laptop thing I have works, because then I can use that for the purposes of reading the D&D books and stuff.
Another job well executed.
I don't remember if I have Protea Prime, though. I don't think I do. I totally didn't just, like, rip ass. Alright, we're going to check to see if I got Protea Prime. Well, could go over to the right, but... or to the left of here and look. But almost all of Jade again. Probably actually should make her and then toss her in there. I am missing just the chassis. Make Protea Prime. Alright, I actually might take advantage of that. Oh, actually, let me see if I've actually... oh, it's October 3rd, 1999. Okay, it's about to roll over. Nice.
Just look what you conjured up.
Yeah, I have regular Protea, but not Prime. Okay. Wait, did it say I had Hildy?
Need me to give someone a tongue lashing?
No, I have Octavia. Okay. Because I want Hildy. I'm trying to build Hildy, and instead of trying to go ahead and just build regular Hildy, I figured I'd go ahead and make Hildy Prime. So, anyway, that's what I got for y'all. Thank you for swinging by this impromptu stream. I might switch over to making Saturdays my third stream of the week for this channel. We'll see. I am going to try and start playing other games than Warframe. This has just been my kick lately. It'll probably be God of War Ragnarok, because I've been promising that one. Because I'm pretty much going to keep Dragon Age Veilguard as my own game to play. Although I might cut down on gaming as a whole. Not because like I don't want to game. It's more of just because there's a lot of things I want to do. I want to work on my art. I want to continue learning Japanese. I keep putting that off. And a lot of other stuff. Anyway, appreciate y'all being here. If you're new here, hit the like button, subscribe, all that good stuff. You'll know the next time I go live. And see you all in the next one.